Austin. How are you? Are you excited for Christmas?
Again, no.
You're being a little grumpy. You're kind of like Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yes.
I was going to make you watch a version of A Christmas Carol, and the one that everybody loves is the 1938 version with Reginald Owen. For me as a kid, I tended to watch the 1951 version, which starred Alistair Sim. But I thought more about the ones that meant more to me as a kid, because I want to share the Christmas spirit that I had as a kid with you. And so I went to the ones that I watched most of all as a kid. Of course, you have The Muppet Christmas Carol with Michael Caine. I think the Flintstones had a Christmas Carol. Everything's done a Christmas Carol, but the one that I kept coming back to is the 1988 classic Scrooged, starring Bill Murray. I tried to make you watch this once before and you never finished it, so I'm going to make you watch it now. Scrooged just celebrated its 30th anniversary. So I'm really happy that this movie is starting to get a little more respect now than it did. I watched this movie so much as a kid, and I'm excited that you're going to share in this wonderful Christmas classic. What do you have to say? Are you excited?
No.
It's a Bill Murray movie.
So?
Got Carol Kane in it.
Not all his movies are good.
That's a bold-faced lie. It's got the guy that sang the song Hot, Hot, Hot in it.
I don't know what it is.
I forget his name. The actor is in this. You know the song Hot, Hot? He's so on fire, being hot, hot, hot. That song? Yeah.
Why
He's in this
would
movie.
I care that he's
Poindexter, something Poindexter. But yeah, he's in this movie.
Good.
Are you ready?
No.
Why are you being such a Scrooge? It's Christmas time.
That's why.
Why, Christmas is a time of love. A time of appreciation for one's fellow man.
Stop it.
Why, you're just being a blot of mustard or an underdone potato.
I'm gonna murder you someday.
Well, then I will come back.
I have acid.
Well, I'll just come back as a ghost and teach you the true meaning of Christmas.
I'll shoot myself.
Scrooged, then you'll join me.
There are people that don't have enough to eat. There are people that are cold. You can go out and say hello to these people. You can take an old blanket out of the closet and say, here. You can make them a sandwich and say, oh, by the way, here. I get it now. And if you give, then it can happen. Then the miracle can happen to you. It's not just the poor and the hungry. It's everybody who's got to have this miracle. And it can happen tonight for all of you. If you believe in this spirit thing, the miracle will happen, and then you'll want it to happen again tomorrow. You won't be one of these bastards who says Christmas is once a year and it's a fraud. It's not. It can happen every day. You just gotta want that feeling. And if you like it and you want it, you'll get greedy for it. You'll want it every day of your life, and it can happen to you. I believe in it now. I believe it's gonna happen to me now. I'm ready for it. It's great. It's a good feeling. It's really better than I felt in a long time. I'm ready. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
You guys see Kevin?
Did I forget something, big man?
God blesses everyone.
Lumpy, no.
Oh, it's like boning a marlin. Clear the whole world clear. And they lived happily ever after.
Austin, we watched the cult Christmas classic Scrooged, a movie that is near and dear to my heart. What did you think?
What do you mean by cult?
It's a movie that when it came out, it wasn't popular to begin with, and over time, it built up an audience, In fact, recently for the 30th anniversary, it was promoted on, like NBC Wheel of Fortune promoted it for the 30th anniversary. So when it came out, wasn't popular, and then grew in popularity, and now people love it.
Gotcha.
What did you think?
Okay.
Now I know when we first started the movie, you were approaching it a little more, I don't want to say seriously, I don't think you take any of this seriously, but it took you a while to kind of warm to the, I guess, wackiness or zaniness or cartoony nature of this film. Ultimately, did you accept it for what it was?
Yes.
So, who are your favorite characters in the film? Of course, we had Bill Murray as Francis Xavier Cross, the stand-in for Ebenezer Scrooge. What did you think of Bill Murray?
He's Bill Murray. I don't really care for him. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him. I just don't.
What is it like being wrong about everything?
I'm not wrong. I just don't like. It's not wrong to not like somebody.
Yes, it is. It's wrong to dislike Bill Murray. Now, moving on, we halfway through, we were trying to figure out whether or not you'd actually seen this movie, or whether or not you were channeling every other version of A Christmas Carol. We ultimately did determine, after you mentioned Bobcat Goldthwait wielding a gun, that you had seen this at some point, not with me. But how did you feel about this interpretation of A Christmas Carol, having seen or just knowing the story ahead of time?
It was kind of not anticlimactic, but it just didn't flow.
Didn't flow?
I mean, you had all the things there.
Well, but the kind of the point of this movie is it's deconstructing it. They know that everybody ahead of time knows the story. That's why they're purposefully intersplicing it with the A Christmas Carol live play that they're going to do.
I just think the ending was just kind of pale.
Well, the ending was the same ending as it always is.
I know.
The little boy, the stand-in for Tiny Tim, says, "God bless us, everyone." And then they sing, "Put a Little Love in Your Heart," which before this movie, not a Christmas song.
I think they. I wouldn't say they rushed the film. I just think they could have filmed this movie in like a week or two.
Well, Austin, that's because you know A Christmas Carol and you're seeing all of the same story beats over and over again.
No, I'm saying it was just.
They could have filmed any version of A Christmas Carol that's not, the animated one over and over. Well, you and I could make our own version of A Christmas Carol.
It's just cheap. Like.
This had a pretty.
No, it was good. Like, you got Stan Lee in it. And
he is, of course, referring to Frank's dead boss as
Zombie.
the late Stan Lee.
Zombie.
But there are some effects in here that were actually pretty expensive for 1988, particularly when Frank is pushed through the window. That required computer imaging, which was not cheap at the time. But I understand where you're coming from, kind of, because everybody knows A Christmas Carol. This movie and this version, because it's somewhat more cartoonish, not really cartoonish, but somewhat wackier, zanier, and has a lot of, Bill Murray's charm to it, has, over time, like I said, it has become a cult film. It's why I chose this one, is because it mattered a lot to me as a kid, because I watched this one a lot as a kid, more so than The Muppets, more so than any of the original ones. I saw Scrooged the most. And the fact that this movie is now getting some more appreciation, it kind of warms the cockles of my heart. But the next movie, we are also, we're going to be watching another movie that, in the time it came out, was a flop. And this is a movie that is now regarded as one of the best movies ever made. And that movie is It's a Wonderful Life. So, have you seen It's a Wonderful Life? Are you excited for It's a Wonderful Life? This movie, the next movie we're going to be watching, will be the best movie I have ever made you watch. That's, of course, my opinion, but I think if we look in terms of like critical evaluation, It's a Wonderful Life is a masterpiece. And I think if anything can melt your icy heart to the warmth of Christmas, it will be the story of George Bailey. Are you excited?
Yeah.
George Bailey is the main character in It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.